evening, everybody. This is Jimmy White here coming to you live from Atlantic City with the Atlantic City Jimmy White here Power Hour. And I'm glad that anybody that can join us will join us. I have some information I want to go over this evening, particularly regarding the Opportunity Zone initiative that we're pulling together right now. And we have an incredible breakfast that we're going to do on Monday, December 15th at Resorts Casino Hotel with the fabulous sponsor support of Resorts Casino and its wonderful president, Mark Giantonio. Thank you very much for your support. We have a very exciting discussion this evening. I'm excited, and I want you guys to get excited. But first, I want to give a shout-out to AC Mike Lopez. Thank you for allowing me to come on your show this week to talk about our extraordinary Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone initiative. And really enjoyed talking with you, Mike, and thank you for helping us promote this event. And I'm looking forward to you and your colleague, David, joining us on Monday, the 15th, for this fabulous Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone breakfast. This is an extraordinary engagement, an extraordinary strategic public-private partnership, which our nonprofit organization, U.S. Hard Cares, is sponsoring with resorts. And the goal here, the goal of this initiative, is to bring together all 6 mayors from all 6 municipalities, all coastal front municipalities: Longport, Margate, Ventnor, Pleasentville, Atlantic City, and Brigantine. The Honorable Mayor Marty Small Sr., and God bless him, what he's going through right now. We wish him the best and pray for the best for him and his family. Brigantine Mayor, the Honorable Mayor Vince Sierra. Longport Mayor, Honorable Mayor Patrick Armstrong. Honorable Pleasantville Mayor Judy Ward, and Honorable Ventnor Mayor Michael Cribell. And when I first started talking about this project with a dentist that's in Margate, Dr. Joseph Baritone, Dr. Baritone saw what we were doing with cybersecurity workforce training in Atlantic City, and the fact that we were focused on cybersecurity and AI, and we have been working with Dr. Nahas over the last several years in terms of identifying some medical AI projects. We call it the AI doctor, using that type of technology to deal with health care, et cetera. So these 2 doctors were inspired and have been supporting us. And Dr. Baritone, several months ago, I ran this idea by him. I said, Doc, we should get all these mayors together and figure out how we can work together and each of the municipalities mutually benefit. You know, whatever comes in form of any grants or any jobs or any technology or innovation or smart city technology, et cetera. Well, we're big enough and small enough where all 6 of these municipalities can work together. And based on how Longport and Margate and Brigantine and Ventnor look right now, how they manage their cities, how they deal with the homeless issue, crime, drugs, whatever, Atlantic City and Brigantine can learn from them, and they can learn some things from Atlantic City and Pleasantville. It could be a quid pro quo in terms of how do we work together to make the coastal cities greater. And the idea that I came up with, and I ran it by a doc, I said, let's take advantage of the opportunity zone that's inside the tourism district in Atlantic City. so that because Ventnor and Margate and Longport and Brigantine, they don't have opportunity zones. And opportunity zones, as I'm going to get into, is a marvelous platform that allows investors to invest money into areas that need economic growth, depressed areas economically particularly, and they don't have to pay any taxes on their investment for 10 years. And that's an attractive attribute to investors because investors, hedge funds, venture capitalists, individuals, small businesses, big businesses, entrepreneurs, etc., all want the same thing. How can they make more profit? How can they benefit more from their investment? Well, the best way for them to profit off their investment is to give them a tax break in terms of no taxes on their investment for 10 years. And I think that's marvelous because what's going to happen is going to create new growth. New growth is going to create new workforce training needs. New workforce training is going to lead to new jobs. New jobs are going to lead to people in Atlantic County, particularly in Atlantic City, and Pleasentville, and Ventnor, and Margate, and Longport, and Brigantine, but particularly in Atlantic City. We want to be able to create job opportunities, financially rewarding job opportunities that allow Atlantic City residents to become homeowners. Some of them are not. So with this opportunity zone, I'm gonna read a little data to you because as we move forward with this, we're gonna all learn together. So opportunity zones was started out of HUD, and Secretary Scott Turner actually was working on opportunity zones before this administration, in the prior Trump administration. So he has really been, Secretary Scott Turner has really been the author and the captain, the admiral of the opportunity zone policies. But I'm going to read something to you. So Secretary Scott Turner of HUD strongly supports and promotes opportunity zones, commonly called OZs, as a key to revitalizing distressed communities, citing success in Detroit's Hudson development, and aiming to expand opportunity zones nationwide to spur private investment for housing, infrastructure, and jobs, focusing on deregulation and public-private partnerships to tackle housing crisis and homelessness. Two other things that we're very focused on here: housing, homelessness, particularly helping homeless veterans get ahead. Secretary Scott Turner views opportunity zones as a vital American first tool for economic development, bringing private capital into low-income areas for long-term growth as shown by projects in Detroit and elsewhere. Secretary Scott Turner and opportunity zones, the role. As HUD Secretary, Scott Turner promotes opportunity zones, advocating for tax breaks for investors in designated low-income areas. Philosophy: he believes opportunity zones empower the private sector to build and revitalize communities, reducing costs and boosting housing affordability, which is a huge objective of the current administration in Atlantic City, or the small administration, is to create more affordable housing for local Atlantic City residents. Matter of fact, there are a number of affordable housings that the mayor has already built, in addition to giving individuals funds to move into those homes. So this is right in line with what HUD wants to do, is create affordable workforce housing. Examples: he highlights major projects like Hudson's Detroit as a prime example of opportunity zone success in creating mixed-use development with private investment. Goals: Secretary Turner aims to expand opportunity zones and cut red tape to encourage more development, linking opportunity zones with addressing homelessness through America First principles. Key actions and statements: toured Hudson, Detroit to promote opportunity zone success, advocates for streaming regulations to lower housing costs, emphasizes public-private partnerships and free market solutions for housing, which is a big piece of what we're doing right now, bringing together Longport, Margate, Ventnor, Pleasentville, Atlantic City, and Brigantine is what we call a public-private partnership. It's a nonprofit platform of bringing together these leaders so that we can form a think tank and move forward together, mutually benefiting from our efforts. So we're right in line with what HUD wants to achieve and what the Secretary is leading, bringing together a public-private partnership collaboration among leaders to create new growth and opportunity in Atlantic City, opportunity zone inside the tourism district, creating a platform so that everybody mutually benefits. For example, and I've said this a couple times, we get a grant from the federal government to do some cybersecurity workforce training, AI workforce training. Well, that grant training will be equally distributed among the 6 municipalities. That way, the taxpayers don't have to pay for it locally. The cities get to fortify their critical infrastructure with now cybersecurity trained workforce. The Casino Association will be working with us so that we can make sure that they're included in this fortification, because if you might recall, just a year or two ago, MGM was attacked and for a ransom attack, cyber ransom attack, and held them up for multi-millions of dollars. And I bet you some of the people that work at MGM, Brigada, and the other casinos over there, I bet you some of them live in Ventnor and Margate and Longport. So not only will their community benefit from what we're talking about doing together and jointly benefiting, but also their job will benefit from what we're talking about doing. And here again, we're talking about doing all of this inside the Tourism District Opportunity Zone in Atlantic City. Key actions from Secretary Scott Turner. Toured Hudson, Detroit to promote Opportunity Zone success. I think I read this, but I'll read it again. Advocates the streamlining of regulations to lower housing costs. Emphasizes public-private partnerships and free market solutions for housing. Yeah, I did read this. And links Opportunity Zone expansion to economic growth and job creation in distressed areas. Boy, do we need that. In essence, Secretary Scott Turner sees Opportunity Zones as a powerful mechanism to drive private investment into underserved Michigan and other communities, aligning with broader Trump administration goals of economic revitalization. Now, you think about this. There's been some talk in the news, and it's reality, that New York has approved 3 more casino licenses for New York. And when those mega casinos open up, it's going to suck some of the growth, some of the revenue. It's going to suck some of the life out of some of these casinos in Atlantic City, as well as the Atlantic Coastal Township, okay? What if, just imagine this, what if when those 3 casinos open up, what if Atlantic City has to close 1 or 2 more casinos because they're struggling? And let's say that 50% of the people that work at those casinos, executives that live in Margate and Longport and Ventnor and Brigantine, as well as some of the labor workers. But just think about some of those guys lose their job. I think that's what Mike Lopez said the other day on his show. He said, Jimmy, you know, if folks in Longport and Margate and Ventnor think that 3 casinos opening up in New York is not going to have an impact on their communities, they're wrong. It's going to impact everybody. So that's why we want to bring everybody together now to work on some economic solutions that everybody can benefit from. Secretary Scott Turner visited Michigan. Check this out. Detroit, like many cities across the Midwest, is developing new life and new opportunities. Hudson, Detroit A $1.4 billion mixed-use development in downtown Detroit is made possible because of the Opportunity Zone initiative. Opportunity zones are making the Motor City run again. Let's think about that. In Michigan, because of their Opportunity Zone incentives to attract investors, they were able to raise and invest $1.8 billion in a new mixed-use development in downtown Detroit. Just think if we could duplicate that model, which we can, and everybody was on the same page of music and cooperating through our public-private partnership. Let's say that we were able to work with HUD and work with Veterans Administration in terms of addressing housing and homeless veteran solutions. And let's say that we continue to develop our cybersecurity workforce training for our workforce locally. Now we're starting to become more attractive to big business who may want to make an investment in a manufacturing facility in our Opportunity Zone, or somebody may want to come and build a new hotel in our Opportunity Zone that doesn't have any casinos in it. Somebody may want to come and build a new technology company in our Opportunity Zone and create 60 new jobs or 600 new jobs. And then we divide those job opportunities up equally among all 6 of our cities. So here again, we all benefit. It's the true definition of a rising tide lifts all boats. We're being proactive instead of reactive. We don't want to wait until the casinos in New York are open and then we try to figure out how to get some new business to move in here because a casino or two has closed or a casino or two has reduced its force. The impact of 500 or 1,000 people being unemployed in Atlantic County in the Atlantic coastal region could be devastating. There could be some foreclosures, some people will have some financial problems. There'd be a lot of stress on people, and we don't have to go that way. What we can do is what we are doing, and that's to begin to plan right now. And, because of our sponsorship, I'm able to give out 20 free tickets to our breakfast Monday morning, free tickets. If you just email me at james.whitehead@us-hart.org, or you hit me up on a private message on Facebook, give me your name so I can RSVP. You have today, tomorrow, and Sunday, and you'll get a free ticket. And if you want to bring a guest with you, if you'd like to bring your love with you, if you'd like to bring your business partner with you or an associate, bring them. And let's do this. For the end of the year, let's end on a high note, focused on new opportunities in the Tourism Opportunity Zone District and a brighter future for our children. Let's have breakfast to that. We can make it a mixture of business, compassionate capitalism in the holiday spirit with some scrambled eggs and some toast, okay? So I'm going to come back to you, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Michigan Opportunity Zone. So please stay with me. and make mistakes. I'm sorry, I had a mic up, so I just made a mistake. So I was saying I'm still learning how to do the podcast, and I'm playing around with it. And I did the clap like this is Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour. That's for the audience sitting in the office here. But yeah, I want to get back to this Opportunity Zone initiative. When we left, we were talking about how in Detroit, like many cities across the Midwest, they're developing new life and new opportunities. Hudson, Detroit, a $1.4 billion mixed-use development in downtown Detroit is made possible because of the Opportunity Zone initiative. And Secretary Scott Turner was recently there visiting this facility. Michigan's Opportunity Zone. Michigan's program is managed by state agencies, and there are no state officials with the title of secretary for this specific reason. Lead agencies. The program is a joint effort between the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, which we are currently working with the New Jersey Housing Authority to pull together all of our pieces. And we have the Grace Community Development Corporation as our local CDC that we're partnering with. So we have nonprofits leading this Opportunity Zone initiative along with the esteemed mayors of our 6 sister cities. Resources. They maintain a website and provide resources to developers and businesses interested in the state's 288 designated opportunity zones. Now, Michigan is a much bigger place. They have 288 opportunity zones in their state. I think in New Jersey we have about 125 or so. I'll get the number for the next show. But they're massive. They're bigger. Local contacts for specific development projects, local contacts such as the city economic development managers are the primary points of contact. Where with our Opportunity Zone initiative, we're not going to do exactly like Michigan or anybody else. We're going to do our thing. And we want to form an advisory group among these mayors so that I can organize some meetings in Washington, D.C. for these mayors to go down and have some high-level discussions about some of the support that we can get in our Atlantic coastal community. MEC, Launch Michigan Opportunity Zone. The Michigan State Housing Development Authority and the Michigan Economic Development Corporation recently launched a new website dedicated to providing information and resources for investors and entrepreneurs, community leaders, developers, builders, and more around Michigan Opportunity Zones and corresponding tax incentives. Thriving businesses are the backbone of local communities, and it is critical that we provide businesses and developers across the state with the tools they need to continue to invest in and help build vibrant communities, said Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The more we can educate business owners and community leaders on opportunity zones and the benefits of investing in these areas, the more we're helping our businesses and our people flourish. The website is an exciting resource to help with the mission. So we already have a website set up that's still in development. But here again, we were doing this. We were focused on this before learning any of this stuff about Michigan. We were focused on this because we learned about what Secretary Scott Turner's priorities are. Secretary Scott Turner's priorities are affordable housing, for sure, addressing the need to help the homelessness, of course, that's what HUD does, but he's also focused on opportunity zones, public-private partnerships, and collaborations. All 5 of those things we are focused on, working together to provide solutions. Opportunity zones, which were created as part of the 2017 U.S. Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, are a national program designed to increase long-term capital investment in low-income communities that have experienced a lack of business growth, okay? We definitely qualify for that because we are experiencing a lack of business growth. We need business growth so people can prosper and people can take that prosperity and become homeowners. According to the website, opportunity zones are designed to increase the amount of patient, long-term capital investment in low-income communities around the country and that have been cut off from capital and have experienced a lack of business growth. There are three types of tax incentives that relate to the treatment of capital gains. Each incentive is tied to longevity of an investor's stake in a qualified opportunity fund. The greatest incentives are reserved for investments held for 10 years. So see, again, they're encouraging that when people invest, that it's a long-term investment, 10-year investment, not any quick solutions, no quick Band-Aids. This is something that is long-term. And in the process of bringing in that investment, you're going to create other local small business growth off of that. Because around there's got to be some construction work. There's got to be some drywalls put up. There's got to be some painting. There's got to be some concrete work. There's got to be a lot of infrastructure work done before the building is even built. And then once that's built, there's going to be new jobs. And with new jobs, there's going to be new opportunity for people to prosper and to become homeowners. So from A to Z, our plans are to work with the U.S. Department of HUD, to work with other federal agencies, the Veterans Administration, to work with other federal agencies to follow their guidelines to achieve the president's mission, which is affordability and economic development. We're doing this as a bipartisan initiative because everybody knows one thing about me. I believe that once an individual gets elected to office, it's time to stop the politicking, and it's time to start the process of representing the people who have voted for you. You know, once they vote for you, they don't want you to get in office and spend the next 2 or 4 or 6 years arguing back and forth about who's right and who's wrong. No, they want immediate results to their votes. Some of us, like me, you know, we're getting in our 50s and 60s and 70s. We don't have a lot of time for political BS. All we want to focus on is what's best for our community, what's best for our family, what's best for our children. And if you're an entrepreneur, you want to focus on how can you become a millionaire. I mean, a lot of small businesses just function because they want to make enough money to pay their bills annually, to feed their family annually, to send their child to private school if they want to. Some people just want to live very comfortably as an entrepreneur. But there's others who are inspired and motivated because they want to be wealthy. And I'm focused on the wealth building, legacy wealth building, because when you create new millionaires, you create new jobs. When you create new millionaires, you create new opportunities for everybody, even for the charitable organizations. Because when a person becomes wealthier, they're more inclined to want to be philanthropic. So it's a win-win for everybody. These opportunity zones are a magnificent platform. We have one here in the tourism district of Atlantic City, and we have the cooperative interest of all 6 mayors. And I said it again, the cooperative interest, they're interested right now. We haven't signed any agreements. We don't have anything, and it's a solid rock. This is bringing together the leadership of our coastal cities so we can work together on solutions. And we're inviting you, the public, the general public, get involved. I mean, if I'm giving you 20 free tickets, there's no reason in the world why you should not be interested if you live in one of these 6 cities, one of these 6 municipalities. And it's free. You know, U.S. Hard and Resorts, we're sponsoring this as like a holiday breakfast to get together to talk about how we move into 2026 bigger and better and more prosperous, utilizing the Atlantic Coastal Tourism Opportunity Zone. So please, if you would like to join us on Monday, December 15th, from 8:30 to 10:30 at Resorts Casino for a delicious resorts breakfast. It'll warm your spirit. It'll warm your soul. It will warm your brain thoughts to come out and do some networking, meet some folks, hand out some business cards. Let's get together and talk about how we can create more money-making opportunities in Atlantic City and in these Atlantic coastal communities together. I said something the other day. I said, and I'll repeat this over again and again, the one thing that God is not making any more of is a oceanfront opportunity zone. You think about that. There ain't many opportunity zones in America that are sitting on a beach with a boardwalk and with tourism attractions and casinos and hot dog stands and everything. This is a blessing from God, believe me. And God ain't making no more opportunity zones on the beach, on the ocean. So we're blessed with one here. Please reach out to me if you would like to attend our breakfast. Like I said, I have 20. I added one extra table, but we have 20 free tickets, complimentary tickets to attend our December 15th, 8:30 to 10:30 Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone Breakfast. Again, it's a long title, but I just broke it down to an acronym, Actdoz, ACTDOZ, Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone. Come on and join us. Send me an email at James, James, .Whitehead, WHITEHEAD, just like on the board, at us-hart, HART.org, or private message me on Facebook and say, Jimmy, I would love to have one of the tickets for the breakfast. Come on out and see Mike Lopez. Come on out and see Commissioner Michael Ruffew is going to be there to make a presentation. Come out and hear the folks from HUD talk about opportunity zones and some other brilliant ideas they have that could impact the Atlantic coastal municipalities in a very favorable way. Come on out and network. Let's talk about business over some breakfast. This is Jimmy Whitehead wishing everybody a blessed weekend, and I hope to see some of your faces on Monday at our wonderful Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone Breakfast. God bless you. Bye-bye.